What do we got going on here? We have congruent triangles to begin with, and those altitudes there, GH and LM, are dropped. They're not congruent yet. That's what we're trying to prove. So these now are parts not even within congruent triangles that we're trying to prove. And this is wow, it's a 9-line one. So, first, it looks like this part is just transposed down here. That's given. That's the first line of a proof. And then GHJ is 90. That is definition of what it means to be really an altitude, or I think the option is perpendicular, so it's by definition. Because an altitude is a perpendicular line dropped from one side of the triangle, or one vertex to this other side, and this one would be the side extended from those triangles. Okay, GJF is congruent to LNK. I think, because those triangles are congruent, that's CPCTC. We know that congruent parts of those triangles are congruent. And GJ and LN, GJ is congruent to LN. Those marks aren't on there yet. I'm going to put them on. Okay, GJH, GJF, that's these two angles here. And similarly on the other triangle, LNM and LNK. That's just what it means to be a linear pair, or supplementary angles. Now, standard trick, if you see two things, especially on the line above, equal the same thing, we're probably going to put them together by the transitive property. That's what has happened. Those angles are together, are set equal to each other. Now, I see, man, they look so similar, but there's one difference. GJH, that hasn't changed. GJF, that hasn't changed. LNM, that hasn't changed. LNK becomes GJFY because we've substituted it. That's why. Now, let's see, what has happened here? GJH has become congruent to measure of angle LNM. Oh, okay. There are two equivalent pieces on both sides of the equation. They have been subtracted. And when the measure of an angle equals the measure of each other, we can say that they are congruent. Now, man, I can't remember where we were. What are we trying to do here? Oh, we're trying to prove that those altitudes are congruent. Next is a statement that has those two triangles are congruent. Why don't we let's put those angles that we made congruent, GJH and LNM. GJH and LNM are congruent. I'm going to put marks in there. Aha, we have an angle and a side in one triangle. Angle, and the same side in the other triangle. AAS. Congruence postulate. And then, because those two triangles are congruent, we can say those corresponding parts of those congruent triangles are congruent. CPCTC.